Hi, this is Market Altcoin Buzz, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin today. A lot going on, a lot of controversy, a lot of contradictions even. So let's go through those and look at the Bitcoin charts. Okay, so let's start off on the Bitcoin USD 1 week chart. We've got a lot of resistance coming up on the 1 week chart. A ton of resistance. We've got that green line that you can see right here running across. This is our 100-day, actually our 100-week exponential moving average. So an exponential moving average is weighing in the strength of the ladder candles and averaging in less of these previous candles here. So you get, on an exponential, you get a weighted average with the current trading being weighted more heavily than the previous trading. A simple moving average would be if you just took the overall time that you're looking at, 100 days, 100 weeks, whatever, and just simply averaged out that activity over that time. So this is a weighted average, 100-day. We're coming up right against it. I'll zoom in there a little bit so you can see it. We're coming in right against trying to tap on that 100-day moving average. So theoretically, that should act as resistance, although we blew through a bunch of moving averages over here, in the last couple months. Now, along with that, we do have on the VPVR, this is volume by price, okay, in a range. And while this is showing you overall volume down here, this is showing you how that volume stacked up in a price range. And you can see as these kind of clouds, if you will, build up and come out, spike out, that is where a lot of volume happened. Since that volume happened on what was previously support back in here, we could look at this and in theoretical technical analysis say this is going to be heavy resistance for us to get through. So we've got heavy resistance right here set at about 60, call it 63.75. You've got the 100-day moving average that's in the relative same place. If we pull up the Ichimoku cloud, you can see that we start having resistance here forming in the cloud ahead of us, right? So that resistance is going to come into play. If we can see where that resistance has developed in this cloud ahead of us. Short term is that $6,400. Now, the other thing that we have going on is we've got this kind of bleeding 9 on the weekly, on the TD indicator, which it takes where the candles are closing compared to previous candles, and it starts scoring it because the theoretical is the top or the bottom of the trend is coming near the end of its cycle. So that 9 is kind of the indicator that the cycle is about to end. We are on a bleeding 9, which would indicate that we should be coming. We're stretching it here on this move up. Let's just put it that way. If we go to the 3-day, that VPVR is reinforcing on the 3-day that resistance area, high volume trading area is coming in about $6,400. We are obviously trying to make a move to there, and that is the top of our resistance box right now. If we could blow through this, let's just say that all those shorts start closing that we have loaded up right now, and actually I think part of this move was probably from some shorts closing. Let's say that continues to happen and we just blow right through this resistance area. We've got another area of resistance that will come up. It's showing on the VPVR right here at $6,700. You can see it in the price action back here. So we'll have that as resistance as well. But here's the real encouraging thing. Let's just take this hypothetical out. We'll go back to the weekly. And if you watch that last video, we were talking about this cup and handle. So this is the theoretical. We come into a nice rounded bottom. It's much easier to see even on the monthly, but let's just go to the monthly real quick. If this doesn't look like a cup, which is a charting pattern that is used in technical analysis, if this doesn't look like a cup, I don't know what does. So let's go back to the weekly. And so here we are back on the weekly. That's the cup in the monthly that you're seeing here. It's a little more jagged, right? There's a lot more information on that monthly chart, but here's that cup on the weekly chart. The theoretical on the cup and handle is that you get this cup and then you have either consolidation or a retracement from this resistance area. So this would look like a classic cup and handle, in my opinion, if this ends up becoming our resistance area right in this $6,400. Consolidation in there or a retracement not more than 12%. So if you said not more than 12%, roughly 5,600. So a retracement not to to surpass 5,600, we wouldn't want to go back down into this range, this 5,100, 5,150. Then the theoretical from there is that if you bounce off of that, you break back through. Now, this is heavy resistance, right? So the reality would be, in my opinion, that you would have a very long cup and handle, which could range 12% before it breaks through that resistance. But once you get through that resistance and you take the target, which is going to be the bottom of this cup, out to where it breaks out, which is really where this resistance, let's just say this is the resistance area, and you'd have 100% move from there. Essentially 99.32, and that's on a rough draw. So let's just call it 100%. So that breakout from $6,400 takes us back up into that $12,000 area. Now, this is not going to be a straight shot, right? We know that we've got resistance set up between there at about $7,200, $7,300. We've got resistance set up somewhere around $8,200 to $8,400. So it's not going to be a straight shot up. But if the cup and handle were to play out based upon the classical charting patterns and the measured moves, and it played out to its perfection, then we'd be looking potentially at about $12,000. Not a straight shot up, by the end of the year, potentially at the beginning of the year next year. That's a long-term play. You could see that cup took us many months to form on the monthly, right? So we're going to have a period of time that we have to form that handle and then see if we can get that next move up. On the 3-day, we see where that resistance is. We've got some still in the 3-day, obviously, because we've had so many consecutive days of upward movement. Our trend lines on the price action are above the regression trend, which is the blue and the red box. So that's kind of like Bollinger Bands, right? We're trending above that. We've got what we know now is going to be our support box that we're going to be looking for at $5,900. If we get rejected from here, well, we're going to be looking, there's a lot of confluence in this area right here. The top of this box, the trend lines, the regression trend line, everything kind of hits right at about 59.25. Let's just call it 59.25. So if you break through that, 59.25, that's roughly 5-6%. We've had some of those moves happen over the last couple months. There is no doubt about the fact that this all looks extremely bullish. We've broken through a long-term trend line from about 2015. We broke through this resistance trend line from 2008, from last year, from 2018. There are a lot of bullish things going on in the chart. At the same time, we have a lot of bearish things coming up from a resistance standpoint. We don't know what's going to happen when Binance reopens the books. This price action was started with manipulation. We all know it's pretty much been confirmed right now that this candle was manipulation. We're coming up on a bunch of major resistance and at the same time a bunch of FUD, right? We've got the whole Tether thing going on. We've got the whole Binance thing going on. And we've got the short squeeze hanging out there as well, right? That's just looming. It's a flip of the coin right now. Would I trade at this area? No, I've already got trades in motion, and I'm watching what's going on, and I've already got my take profit level set. I'm in longs that I'm already in profit on, so I'm okay. But if I was looking at it today, I don't know that I would take an entry here. All indications are we still have plenty of momentum, but this could also be people cashing out of Tether, right? And there are a lot of factors. The charts look extremely bullish. There is no doubt about it. Are we going to have a retracement? Absolutely. We've got to have a retracement. We've got to have some kind of a pullback. Where's the most logical place for that? It's right in this range right now, around $6,400. We've already broken through the bottom part of the 62. So yeah, somewhere around $6,400 could be the logical area for that. But you know what? If we start getting short squeezes there, and that's a possibility, we could get up into the $6,700 range. We've got a high volume node right in there. We don't have a whole lot of resistance, or it's a fairly easy gap to get there. So the short squeeze could be the saving grace on this move, because otherwise, with declining volume, which we do have, it doesn't look like it, but this volume looks like it might have come from a little bit of a short squeeze. And so if we've got this declining volume, that divergence going on, then the logical thing would be a retracement soon from here. But again, we could shoot up and start looking at these levels. Then we'll start looking for retracements to come back down to the $6,400 price point, somewhere in there, back at these two red lines. If we could break through this and come back down and find support, then, how can you argue whether there was manipulation back here or not, that we've reversed the trend and we're back into a bullish cycle? Hey, I want to remind you to follow me on Twitter, because there's times that I will post stuff up there when I can't make a video, and then you can get up to date on some of the things that I'm thinking about at the time and kind of be in that inner ACB circle, if you will. Look, I still think that this price action that we're seeing is a house of cards ready to fall, but I can't argue with the charts. The charts right now are telling me be bullish on it, and until they tell me not to be bullish on it, I'm going to be bullish on it. I am cautious here, though, because we are coming up against all those resistances that we've been talking about. We should have a pullback at some point in time. We've had some consolidation, but we really haven't had a pullback. So a 6% would be pretty realistic and catch my attention. A 12% is going to really catch my attention. And then past that, then I'm wondering if we're getting back into our bearish tendencies. I hope this was helpful for you. And until next time, may all your trades be good ones.